And we are live. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Living World of Darkness, New York by night. And this place is the Bronx, the Demon's Venue. The scene is set in a pool hall, not that far away from the Fordham University. It's not that big or shiny a place. It's actually quite small, little dark-ish. It's one of those random places where people don't ask your name or what you're doing here or why you look so young while you carry an ID that says 25. Lily has walked in there. She has an appointment with Vincenzo, aka the bookkeeper. She is a little nervous about what she's gonna discuss because he's actually gonna be the first one, and she never really had that much contact with him. But, well, there's a first for everything, so she walks in, finds a table, looks around to see if she can see Vincenzo there, or if he still has to arrive.
Vincenzo actually hails from one of the corner tables for Lily to come that way. He's already racked up the table ready to go.
Well, Lily walks over and she waves. Hey.
Hello. You get to start.
So, stick 'em with the pointy end?
White touches those go to holes. And if the white goes to hole, you turn over the turn to me. If something doesn't go into the hole, you turn over to me. And if they go into the hole in the wrong number order, we're playing 8-ball. 9-ball. So if they go in wrong order by numerical standards, I get the turn again.
So it's a little bit of maths combined with having a...
You only need to count up to 9.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, in order to calculate in what corner you have to shoot what at what.
Or experience.
Well, there's a first for everything, I take it. She looks at the table, looks at the... I have no idea what you call it in English, and Lily doesn't either, so that's okay. So she's just gonna call it a stick. Looks at the stick.
Q.
The stick. Ah, it is a Q. Okay, that's easy. With this stick, she says as she looks it up. Q, you call it? Okay, how do you hold that thing? She tries to mimic the movements that other players at a table in another corner make. She bows forward, leans over the table, inspects the balls, grabs hold of the cue, and she wants to shoot, but she totally misses the white ball. She just looks at it and she's like, yeah. Right. Could you, show it to me?
Of course. What were we discussing this time? I understood it to be a little bit more on the official side. Dexterity precise, and I'll go with athletics just for the fun of it. I'll voluntarily take difficulty 8. And have I ever mentioned how I hate
once?
Once.
I think you have mentioned it.
It just breaks the spread a bit and goes, that's how you do it.
Uh-huh. Okay, I can do that. She says that she is, well, I guess also using Dex Athletics. And, well, Div 8 you say. I guess since it's my first time, I'll go for Div 9.
Hmm.
It would make sense. Let's see, what are my Dex Athletics?
Butch. We
We
don't want to put anyone's eye
have
out.
to buy a table. Well,
Oh,
Lily, she bows forward again, mimicking the moves that Vincenzo makes. Just looking at the white ball, one of the others, like, yeah, I think if I would do it like this, and she watches as one of the balls just, well, I think with 3 successes, two balls, just fall into one of the holes, like this, right?
you got them even in decent order. Yes.
Hmm,
Yes, you
maybe I'm
keep
not
the
that bad.
turn.
Oh, I do. Okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, I'm here on a little bit of official business. There have been some difficulties. Um, I don't know. What was your opinion about Marcus and his tyrantship?
His grandfather seems to be a very, very respectable gentleman.
Yeah, but well, maybe the opinions are a little bit. Uh, I've met that man. Didn't really like it. But I'm not here to discuss his grandfather. I'm here to discuss the grandchild. She says as she once again takes aim and apparently shoots another one in.
Nice. You
So,
keep the turn.
still my turn? Damn.
As long as those balls keep dropping.
Hmm. So, Marcus, please, could you give me your opinion about him? Not
I
about his
think
grand.
I did.
No, you gave your opinion about his grandfather. It's not a botch because I rolled div 9. It's a fail.
And the turn changes. All right. Vincenzo actually moves behind, looks up at Lily. Yes, yes, I did. If you think about it.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not that good with words. Well, it's
But
kind of true, but
I usually don't mince my words much. But someone claims to be a tyrant, you try to be a little bit careful with your words.
so news goes around.
And Vincenzo just manages to move the balls around the field. Your turn. 3, 4. Now good enough. I'll keep the count.
News travels fast. I did not claim to be tyrant. The reason why,
No, I'm under the impression that Marcus was the tyrant.
hmm. Well, Lily says that she also moves the balls around a little bit, but yeah, actually manages to shoot the white one in the corner.
I get to place this one.
Yes, he did.
Chooses a place for it, and I'll drop my difficulty by 1 for this one.
Hmm.
Because I get to pick it.
Marcus got in some trouble.
Do tell.
considering one of his friends and I'd say close relatives from the other side. Clark Dunson.
Don't remember meeting the gentleman.
Hmm.
Oh, what do you know? I hate worms. Have I ever mentioned that before? I loathe them with a passion.
Is that? It's just a fail. But
Just a fail. All right.
my turn again.
What kind of trouble did they get into?
They were at each other's throats the entire time, and it kept taking on more serious forms. It started with, I believe, one of Clark's thralls slash his girlfriend, and it ended up with Clark setting the house on fire because Marcus tried to shoot the bastard because Clark was conspiring against him and didn't want him as tyrant anymore. Ooh, wow.
Well, if you conspire against Tyrant, you might get shot.
Yeah, the thing escalated rather quickly over the course of a few weeks. So Josh and myself put a stop to it. Um, because the court was a mess and Lily aims again and misses. Actually, I said div 9. This is a botch.
Well, I get reduced difficulty because
If I
it's
would make
melted.
div 8, I would actually still have a success.
Ah, that's a shame. White doesn't belong in anywhere but on the green.
Mm.
F7. So they had an altercation, and the two of you and Josh, had to put things in order.
Yes. Marcus was showing more and more emotional instability. And the fact that I'm the one who says that probably says enough.
Mm.
So,
So, meanwhile, because of the precise specialty, that'll be 5 successes.
you should Lily actually, her eyes widen a bit. Nice.
That actually, if one success is one racked up ball, that finishes the match. It seems like Vincenzo has been setting you up, doesn't it?
Almost as if you did it on purpose. Wow, you really are good at this game.
No, but I
Well,
once upon a time was.
it's interesting. It's interesting how you just tap one ball and it rolls a certain way, and you can try to change its direction by shooting it in a specific way. It's hmm. Sometimes you need to. I can learn something from this, I guess. But yeah, the court. Well, it was a mess, and nobody wanted Marcus back as tyrant anymore. So I asked them and Marcus as well something that I would like to ask you right now, because you did not get the chance to agree or disagree. Could you perhaps give me a month to try and see if I can actually build something here with the court, can actually build a stable system for the proper tyrants to rule, whether that be Marcus, you, Josh, Allegretto, Al, the Rev.
There a reason you're not naming yourself on that?
Come on, I'm probably the least capable one here. I just have a few ideas that might work. I'm still working on it, and I don't want to order anything without getting opinions about what all of you would like to see in a court structure and where you would see yourself.
You want me to place myself into the structure of the court?
If you want to, that is. If you prefer to stand on the sideline and watch, sure, but it will have consequences. There is a lot going on, not just in the Bronx, not just with our courts. It's brewing on Manhattan, Staten Island, apparently, although I'm not quite sure what's that about. New Jersey is a mess.
Oh, I know.
So we need to, at least in my opinion, we need to work together to gain stability, at least in the Bronx, at least amongst ourselves, so that we can actually face a threat with confidence instead of with hesitation and doubt in our hearts. So, if you want to place yourself outside of the court, it's fine by me, but don't expect to rely on the protection of the court. You might not need it, that's fine. You can still talk.
The one time my areas were tread upon by someone uninvited, the only use I had for the court was to spare their miserable existences from advancing onwards, because the court had made agreements.
Hmm. Well, like I said, if you prefer to stand aside, then that's fine. And I will make sure that everyone knows that the agreements that they make with us does not count for you. You can go your merry way. I have no problem with that.
But some of the devils are going to have a lot of problems with it, and they're going to go, "What? How does he dare?" and blah blah.
One of the devils is left, and the other one is just basically been told that he is not tyrant, at least for a month, and has to do labor in order to fulfill his punishment.
Hmm. Well, that's between the individuals involved, I suppose. No, I'm not going to set myself purposefully outside of a court, because that means that sooner or later somebody in that court is going to start going, "Well, since you're not part of the court, we're going to take this and that from you," and then I have to respond, and sooner or later I'm going to find myself in some other court.
I think New Jersey is trying to recruit just as much as we do. Then again, no, If you really don't want to and you have all the reason to refuse, proper reasons that is, I won't hold it against you personally.
I
Since,
am
at least for a
usually.
month, I am the one who is dealing with this shit.
But I believe I've stated it before to Josh and a few other people. My main interest lies on the other side. I have a little bit of influence on that side of things. A little bit of influence on outside of the Bronx, and that's how I prefer to keep things. I don't usually go around making big scenes. I leave it for the others.
Yeah, that would be a nice. To be quite honest, that feels kind of like a relief at this point. But even
But
that side, the other side, even if you do that, it's fine by me. What can you do that will support us over at that side?
I can
What do
hold
you
my
want to do?
own. I can hold what is mine and not allow some other court access to that area.
That still don't give me enough reason to have you in the court. In all honesty, I mean, I'm not the one who should be saying this because, like I said, I'm only here for a month and I'm only here to set things right. I'm just trying to investigate with all of you. Well, what do you want? Well, okay, you don't want anything, but what can you offer us? At this point, I haven't heard anything besides keeping your own, and, well, you can do that without the court as well.
Yes, I can.
Exactly. So what's the reason for you to want to join us?
To join, I was under the
Well,
impression that I have been a member of the court since I
that's
showed.
true. That's true. Forgive me. But it's, to be quite honest, it's quite new for me to actually call this a court because I've basically been shouting around that we didn't have a court and we didn't need one. Now all of a sudden I find myself trying to organize one. Sometimes I really wonder what those mages did to my head.
We don't need any organization. What a curious idea.
Then what do we need?
No, we do need some organization, I do believe, though I was hoping it wouldn't come to so formal actions.
Hmm, it's as formal or informal as everybody wants to make it. That's why I'm making this maybe a formal conversation. If everybody says, hey, we'll just go our merry own way, hey, at least that means that I don't have to deal with a lot of shit. It's easier for me.
As to what I can do, I think I do believe that if rabbits can inform you on things I can do on the other side.
Let's just say it differently then. What do you want to do?
Want to do?
Hmm.
I would want to do what I have been doing so far with a minimal disruption from the court's policies, agreements, any other devils or someone else jumping up around and making agreements that bind us all, without having to tell all the members of the court that they're on their own as far as my support and assistance goes.
So you want to be a member without being a member?
I think I did just state that I was still extending my assistance and support. I think I've
Well,
actually, when I've been around, made a point of being a little bit helpful every now and then.
hmm, I have never. Well, I think beside from the meeting in your new place, I don't think that I have seen that much from you, so I'm sorry if I may be rude, but
Well, you can, of course, question that, but let's see. I think we had some small problems with some types getting their claws in the Bronx, didn't we?
Hmm? If you're talking about some stray dogs.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about people getting strange orders, being told to do things, and doing those things, and a certain, apparently currently not a tyrant, having a little bit of an issue with it.
Hmm.
I may have helped with that situation a little bit. I don't usually go around making a lot of noise how I help. I just help.
Well, you don't have to make a lot of noise. Help is appreciated. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't trying to deny the fact that you did it. I just stated that I wasn't aware of it. Which is the downside of not standing in the limelight once every now and then, is that people don't know.
I leave standing in the limelight to the devils. They're so very good at it.
Well, that is true. Or the dividers for that matter. Yeah, our cousins. A wonderful world they make.
Meanwhile, yes, especially if we are having some other types that have access to the Shadow Realms, I can cooperate with Josh and make certain that our hold in Bronx is not challenged.
Very
That's
well.
one area where I think my expertise will be very handy.
Well, I don't mind having someone who focuses mainly on the Shadow Realms. I know Josh also has a lot of other interests, so I can count on you gaining information about what's lurking in the shadows that doesn't
If
belong there.
if the court wants me to extend my influence in the Shadow Realms outside of that little island I have into the greater Bronx, I can do it. I have not done so, and I will not do so without the request from the court.
Hmm, very well.
Because when you find out what I've done, you're going to go, by what right? Or some devil is going to go, whoop, whoop, whoop. Why did you? And I want the opportunity to go because the court asked me to.
Very well. Well, you do make me curious, but at this point, I do not think that I'm in the position to ask what you actually did.
You can ask Josh. I think he'll share some of the details. Let me put it this way. I think he's an old police officer or something. One of those who have a tendency to be a little bit on the good guy side.
Josh,
Mm,
I know. He was hmm, well, who am I to blurt out a few things that I do know about his former life?
if I were interested, I could probably find it out.
Probably.
Anyway, the point here is that while he is more inclined to be helpful and compassionate to those who have
Needs.
entered the realm of our house, I am more inclined to organize them
I see.
for their own defense as well as ours.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. It's good to know. It's very handy as well. I well, you know my relationship with Josh, and I think he's too soft at some points. This might actually be very well. I might actually offer you the opportunity to extend your sphere of influence in that domain.
But
But
talk it
like I
over with
said,
Josh first.
oh
You won't
yes.
want two Slayers battling it out. You think it's bad
No,
when
no.
they're at it.
No, I do definitely not want that. Don't worry, I will talk this over with Josh. And like I said, at this point, we don't have a court. That's kind of the issue. Marcus was tyrant, and there was nothing else. We all went our own merry way. It was fun, but it doesn't help to keep things organized, to keep a proper defense up and running, and you actually seem to have built something like that. I think I think some people can learn from that experience.
Indeed. And it's small at the moment, and it'll take some effort to extend it to the Bronx entire.
Hmm,
And I expect it'll actually need some assistance from the court to make that happen.
I see.
There are going to be key individuals involved.
Hmm. Well, like I said, at this point, I'm not making any decisions just yet. Merely
But you
informing.
wanted to know what I can do. I can organize the Shadow Realms
Hmm.
in Bronx for, let's just say, for a more defensive posture than it might currently be in.
Well, we
But I
don't need
will
that.
not do it on my own. I will not do it without the court's authority to do so.
Exactly. And at this point, although the rest names me tyrant, I do not see it as such. See me as a, how do we call that when the queen is in charge until the son is old enough to properly sit upon the throne again?
Regent.
Regent. That's the word. I think that might be the proper word. See me as a regent to a tyrant we don't know, we don't even know yet.
And on that terms, I will thank you to keep my name out of that list.
uh, I'm thinking.
Because if that turns out to be a possibility, I will tell this court where it can go, and Shadow Realms is not the correct option.
Probably I'm a deeper and darker place than that, huh?
Hmm.
Hmm.
But
Think about
in
tyrants.
the matter of fact, I
Mm.
can insist on the Shadow Realms, and it wouldn't be too bad. Probably not for myself, let alone for the court. Actually, occasionally for the court to come for me when they have something they want to agree upon before they do so.
Hmm. Well, like I said, I wasn't even quite sure if you were a proper member of the court, to be quite honest. So it's good to have talked to you. I will make sure that you'll be kept in the loop. And well, I find your offer, so to speak, your work, interesting.
And if you need a half neutral assessment of my current work, I think Rains can tell you what I've done with that little island of mine.
Yes. Well, I will get in contact with him, yes. Then there was just one thing that I was wondering. It's just completely off this. Well, it's not completely off the point, but it's a different thing that I was more curious about. What would you need in a proper, what would you look for in the proper next tyrant? Kind of qualities are you looking for?
I have very little of the next tyrant in my mind currently, whoever they are.
It's not something that you consider someone to make a great leader.
As long as people understand that they can be the tyrant, and they'll be accorded the due respect. that doesn't mean that they are only ones who hold some reins of power.
Hmm. Well, that's
Whether it
surprising.
be the rabbis' style of, well, you might end up as a toy to be played around with in a physical sense for a while, or an upset halaku just deciding that you need a new host.
How did you know that I like to play with my food? Don't worry. I don't like the taste of demons.
I think
Uh,
Reigns is auditioning for the part anyway.
well, he's been our de facto leader for a while until he gave the job up to Marcus. And I think, like I said, I think it's going to be up for vote, and I'm just trying to pave the way to make it a little bit more smoother for the next tyrant to fall in line, knows what it is that is expected of him, and knows what the qualities and functions are within his court. I just want to organize these things, because if we're not organizing soon, I think there won't be much left to organize. Anyway, do you still have any questions?
Who are you hoping to put into the position of tyrant? If not yourself.
Well, I can assure you, most definitely not myself. It's not my place. I don't like to take care of others. I prefer to take care of myself. Mm, I don't know at this point, to be quite honest. That's the reason why I told people that I want it this month. I don't know. I know Josh doesn't want it, and I'm afraid. I worry about him too much when he is in such a position. He takes too many risks. Marcus, he has some qualities, but some faults as well. Allegretto? I don't know. He's very new to the city. You?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know you well enough. That's a little bit of the issue. There are, besides myself, there are three others that I know fairly well. One of them just lost her memory. The other one I don't want to get hurt. And the third one has made some big mistakes lately and needs to recover from that. And then we'll see whether he's capable or not.
I'll make this very clear. I already command a few armies. I have plenty enough to do with that. I have no interest to start herding cats. Or fallen, as the case may be.
There's not that much difference sometimes, you know. But on the other hand, the fact that you command armies at this point says something.
Hmm. That I'm prone to hyperbole.
That you're a general, and we have views of generals.
Everybody likes a victorious general, and those who take losses, no matter how justified, might find themselves in disfavor too soon.
Depends if it leads to a greater victory.
Hmm. But I would perhaps give such a suggestion a consideration. That's as far as I go with that.
Think about it. Also think about who you might place as tyrant, because, like I said, a month. And after that, we will vote. And
If there is no tyrant I would like, I will tolerate a tyrant that will not hinder me unduly. And if there's no such tyrant, I will pay due respect and stay out of their way.
Just think about the people you know, the people you don't know. See who you would respect.
Do you
Maybe
have
put
contact
yourself.
information for the people I don't know?
If you want it, I can provide you at least with a few of them.
Would be useful.
Very well.
If you actually want me to form an opinion of these things.
I would like that very much, yes. I think each and every one has a vote in this matter because, from my point of view, a tyrant cannot rule by itself. It needs to listen to those who supported him, or, well, there's one her in this court and she's not willing, so I'll keep it with him. I'm pretty sure there are people ambitious enough.
Hmm.
I hope so.
Yeah,
So,
give me
yeah.
contact information. I'll see if I find the time to make use of it.
Very well. It was a interesting conversation, and well, at least you taught me a new game, and at best you gave me some very valuable insights.
Happy to be of assistance in that case.
Well, be careful out there, especially around New Jersey stuff.
I usually keep locations between me and Jersey.
Smart. And with that, Lily stands up from, well, she had been leaning against the pool table probably. She smiles. Well, pretty sure I'll see you around.
Enjoy your evening. And Vincenzo actually gets back to setting the table. He apparently actually intends to practice that game a little bit.
And Lily will walk out of the place, and I think with that we will end the scene.